Hey there, folks, and welcome back to our adventure in the game Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, going through the main story as a means of unlocking all of the side stories so we can check those out and see what they have to offer, along with probably my reactions thereof, which you're probably, at this point, I don't know why, I guess you like cringe, who knows. But anyways, in the last episode, it got heated. It got heated between Natsuki and Yuri. Now, understandably so, I get it. Natsuki has an issue with folks who don't take her stuff seriously, and to which she feels she has to stand up for herself in that regard, to which Yuri didn't quite take her poem seriously, calling it cute when the symbolism of the poem was about giving up. Of course, Yuri missed it because it wasn't as complex and convoluted as she normally does it, which is not a bad thing either. But unfortunately, Natsuki took it significantly far and started pushing it onto Yuri, to which Yuri pushed back, and it got into a big scuffle and whatnot. Verbally, that is. Nobody put their hands on each other, or at least not that the slide showed us. Within that, Monica tried to intervene, but of course, both characters, Yuri and Natsuki, pushed her away in that regard, again, verbally. Ultimately, it landed onto our main character, Sosuke, to mediate the conflict, to which the two ladies wanted him to express his opinions thereof. And being that this is the Yuri route, we selected to defend Yuri in that regard, to which, to my observation, it looked pretty balanced in a way. So, Sosuke dealt with Natsuki with her temper, to which, of course, she also pointed out, hey, look, the reason I lashed out was because of this. And so then, of course, Sosuke dealt with that as well and addressed to Yuri to take Natsuki's writing seriously. To which, of course, Yuri looked at that and said, okay, I messed up, I apologize. And of course, going back to Natsuki, who did take it quite far and started hurling insults. Because let me tell you something, folks, just because someone doesn't take us seriously, that is no license for us to be condescending and disrespectful. If they don't respect us, we need to walk away. What Natsuki should have done was actually walked away and just like, I can't deal with you, and went to Monica, who is the club president, and say, Monica, I have a problem with this. And Monica would have gladly walked over and dealt with it. But Natsuki wanted to take it upon herself to do it, which lashed out in a bunch of anger, to which led to an escalation of everything. And all of this was really based on misunderstanding. That's one of the main issues these days, is a lot of stuff is based on significant misunderstanding. But in that, there's a frustration that happens when we don't really understand something, but instead of seeking clarification, we want to stick to our points, which these two characters, Natsuki and Yuri, they have that kind of problem, where even though they don't understand the other side, they don't care to want to understand, and they only want to stick to their particular perspectives. Which is not necessarily a bad thing to stick to your own perspective, but you can't be a jerk about it. If you're going to be a jerk about it, then you're going to find yourself in a very lonely spot. People are not going to tolerate that for an extended period of time. So after wrapping up in the club activities, of course, we wrote another poem, which of course was engineered for Yuri, because this is the Yuri route. And then the next day, Sayori asked if we want to join her to go to the vending machine to get her some food. Come to find out, she's broke. And apparently she thought she could swindle our character Sosuke into, grabbing some money out of his own wallet to be able to help feed her. Yeah, that didn't go so well. So folks, don't do that. Moving on, Natsuki actually threw a cookie at Sayori. I don't know why she threw it. She claims it's because she overheard the conversation of everything going on. And yeah, that. But in the process of thanking Natsuki, I guess Sayori's hunger is much more of a bottomless pit, because she actually stole a bite from Natsuki's cookie, which was disrespectful. Monica, I hope you discipline Sayori on that, because that's totally disrespectful. And it's kind of gross too. But moving on, we're spending more time with Yuri as well, to which We followed Yuri as a means to get some water for the teapot so we can have a nice cup of tea. But of course, not before Monica interjected about that, to which Yuri stood up to that. Monica quickly backing away from that and meeting Yuri out in the hallway. She's a bit distraught about her recent episode of mannerisms toward Monica. And that's where we last left off. So let's find out what state of mind Yuri is actually in right now. Let's head on over there. Back to the school hallway. All right, let's see what's up with her. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. Doesn't quite look like her forehead's against the wall, but I guess we can use our imagination. I spoke without thinking, said Yuri. How could I say something like that? Yuri? Says Yuri. Something about the way she said that. Yeah, I can understand to a degree. It made me feel so irritated. It could very well be she has a crush on this kid. It could very well be. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Sosuke, replied Yuri. How come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. Replied Yuri. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Says Yuri. Yuri lifts her head. Sosuke, I really like being friends with you. She likes more than that, trust and believe. But at the same time, think about it. She's finally found someone whom can even just relate to her in her complexity within this arc. And that's something she's probably been looking for a long while. Natsuki the same, but Yuri's dealing with it in a more passive manner. Meanwhile, Natsuki's dealing with it with a more aggressive mindset. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that. I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway. Yeah, says Yuri. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Sosuke, do you like oolong tea? I never tried it, but I heard it's got some really good healing properties. Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well then, replied Yuri. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others, says Yuri. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything, replied Yuri. In that case, you'll be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Yep, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Is that so? Says Yuri. I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. Confirmed. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Sosuke, replied Yuri. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Sosuke, I have another request, said Yuri. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? It's a little bit easier on my back. Yep, I know why. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because paused Yuri at that point. Your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yeah, I have terrible reading posture. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yep. We'll just go with that. Anyways. So that's why we should sit on the floor so I can have my back against the wall and keep my back straight. As a matter of fact, posture check, everybody. Posture check. Posture check, everybody. Okay. All righty. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolates as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it will go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well, says Yuri. Oh. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup, says Yuri. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri has not noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. Replied Yuri. That's okay. I won't take any. Oh, you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize, replied Yuri. I'll hold the book, okay? Sure? Of course, replied Yuri. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any more difficult of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if in this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Okay. Huh? Expressed Yuri. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Oh boy. Here we go. Expressed Yuri. Did I just... Wait, did I just consume chocolate? Okay, no, that's not what she said. Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Sasuke? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. That's replied Yuri. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, replied Yuri. Then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. Oh my. How did it even come to this? Hey buddy, isn't this what you wanted? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I noticed her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breathing. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. She is into this, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. Woo! Monica saw that was getting way too into it and said, nope, time to break out. Time out, time out, time out, time out. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share the poems. Sosuke, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okie dokie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The spell is abruptly broken. Says Yuri. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. More poems. And since we're on the Yuri route, we are going to select Yuri first. Let's see what you've written for today, expressed Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Sosuke, expressed Yuri. This one might even be better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Hey, some people have a natural aptitude, you know? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this, says Yuri. Used to what? I don't know nothing no more. I don't know jack anymore. Okay, that was dramatic. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, finally speaks Yuri. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself, answered Yuri. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh? Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share your poem you wrote? Yeah, answered Yuri. I do. If it's with you. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited, or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic. Wait, what's this word? I have not really read cursive in a long while, so some of it actually does get to me sometimes, but I can't tell what that word is. I'm just gonna skip it. Classic conditioning. A slice of bread. And I fed myself again. I'm getting really rusty with cursive. Says Yuri. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right, says Yuri. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, replied Yuri, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. So you keep them to yourself? Because, replied Yuri, they're embarrassing, and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Sosuke? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that, says Yuri. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Sosuke. that's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now, I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. All right, we'll go down kind of the list that we did last time moving forward, but we'll do that on the next episode. So a nice little quality time there. Looks like it was starting to get a little bit on the romantic side. And yes, I really do believe that Monica broke that up on purpose. I'm just saying. But I want to thank everyone for watching this video this time around. If you enjoyed it, then I encourage that you leave a like if you will. And if you want to see more, you want to check out other things on the channel, then I encourage you to also subscribe and activate notifications so you can be informed of the next productions to be released. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.